G'day, my name is Lakefish, I'm your local bearded Minecrafter, and welcome to my weekly vlog. So, I personally have had a slow week on the server. Hessor has not. He's actually been quite busy in our village here. He was actually finished putting in our economy system here. He's transferred it from over at Stormwind, just off the spawn chunks, and now he's put it all in here into our village. You'll remember last week I was showing you guys around the village. Well, now we've got the farmer in this building here, our large house. They don't have their AI on, so they won't wander around, and they've got infinite trading on, so you don't have to muck around with it like you do normal villages. So it's not quite vanilla, but it's vanilla-ish. So the amount of trading you need to do per emerald has been changed downwards, so we don't get as many emeralds now per trade, which is pretty well within the normal bounds of villager trading. So that's in and of itself. It's not unusual to have to trade like 32 wheat, for example, for a single emerald. That's not unusual. So it's pretty well within line with normal trading, except you can trade more than just the regular stuff. Like, we can come and trade cocoa beans and cactus and all this kind of business. So that's really cool. And we've got a mob drop here with Henry. So anything that drops off the mobs, like witch stuff, spider things, skeleton things, zombie things, creeper things, they're all here, with the sole exception of bottles. Spawn Master Jeb up there, he's the guy with all the spawner eggs and the spawner cages for us. They're very expensive, but they were already expensive, so that hasn't changed. That's still 2 full stacks of emerald blocks for a spawner cage and a full stack of spawner eggs. Sorry, emeralds. Full stack of emerald blocks for an egg. So that hasn't changed, but he has added the shulker eggs, so we might be able to do something with the shulker eggs. Either have very expensive shulker boxes, or maybe I can make a farm. That might be cool. I've got a couple of ideas in mind. We have Perrin. Now, if anyone's read The Wheel of Time, Perrin's here. We now have that Perrin as our armor smith. And he has all the trades for helmets and unenchanted armor. So if you sort of die and you need something, you got some spare emeralds, instead of trying to mine up something to get your gear back, you can come and trade and get some stuff and things. I don't know who Vartek is. I think Vartek's just a random name he thought was cool. But so we've got everything broken up here, so the lists aren't incredibly long, so it's easy to get hold of stuff. This guy's our toolsmith. He's got like pickaxes and this kind of thing. So again, it's nice and cheap and easy to come and get your stuff and things. We got a butcher in over here. We had a butcher at Stormwind. I really like this because you can walk around the village and trade with these guys, and really sort of pulls you into the game a little bit further. Yeah, I quite enjoy it. It's really cool. I really do like this concept, other than a trading building. If you remember, we had a temporary building that was going to be until we got a hall up in Stormwind, but Stormwind fell through. And we're going to do that in the vast future from now. We got Butcher Bob here, and he's got all your meats, and I've been using him today. I was getting up some fish so I can save up the emeralds, and I've got enough now to do a project I've got in mind. Loyal. Now this is another reference to the Wheel of Time, and he has all of your strange books, like rare books like Mending, Silk Touch, Unbreaking, Efficiency, Fortune 3, all that kind of business. Loyal has that. And we've got all the other big books here, so nothing small. They're all the top level books, so level 4 protections. He's got all the armor stuff. This guy has all the weapon things, so smites, they're all level 5 and level 2s depending on what you're looking at, like knockback. So that's all in and great, and we've got our rare spawn person here, Noel. Now, I'm not going to spoil the story behind Noel. But if you've read The Wheel of Time, you likely already know who Noel is. Noel is Matrim Cawthon's servant. And Noel used to be an adventurer. And he sort of went out of he decided to leave history. I'll say that much. Anyway, so he's got sponges, quartz, glowstone, packed dice, diamonds, bedrock if you really want to do bedrock, which is really expensive. He's got purple blocks, actually it's not a bad price. Endstone, so he's got all the rare stuff. If you really need some rare stuff, Noel is the one who's got it. Come visit Noel in the really cool hermit hut. And the last thing that Hessor has done this week, he went and finished up in here, and installed our teleports here. So they're all in now, and they go to our various spots, which is nice and handy. Please stop. Which is nice and handy, so we can get about to all the different places. And each player's got if you look on my right hand side there, we've got blocks that is associated with their colour. So my bases are all green, Tails is blue, so on and so forth. Rhini's is that colour, gold, and they're colour coded too. From these ones, there's no way back, but all of these have a return back to here, to that red square. So Hessor has been rather busy. It's been rather cool. Anyway, so that's all that's happened here in the village. I'm in the process of thinking up of a name for this village. I haven't gotten to one yet. Anyway, I'll go over to the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch and I'll show you what I've been up to there. So I had a pretty slow weekend because I was mostly busy and trying to catch up on some stuff around here. So in the house, and because I hold a full-time job, I actually was rostered to work morning shift for the first half of this week. So I took things nice and easy, and I made a trip out to the end. So now we have some purple blocks. We're saving up for purple blocks because I want to combine that purple of the purple with the gold. They're actually complementary colours on the colour wheel. If you go take a look at a handy dandy colour wheel, you will find, or colour chart, you'll find that purple and yellow, or gold and purple and violet are sort of opposite one another. So they complement each other rather well. So they'll go well together in this space, and I'll break it up with some quartz. Probably some snow as well, just for some texture. And end stone and end brick. So it's a nice colour range right there. So, and needless to say, I've got a little farm here for the Chaurus flower. And then we can harvest the Chaurus fruit. Which that is. So that's a really modest, small farm, and I spent all weekend saving up a whole bunch. So I did that, and we're going to convert some of that popped Chaurus fruit now that I've been smelting over here. I'll get to that in a minute. We're going to turn that into a floor for here. I'm going to break up the farm. Probably have a ring around the building and probably a spiral. Have a spiral going down. Because I've got a fairly intense security system over here. I don't see the need for my original idea. If you remember, I said in the first video I was going to have a portcullis gate with another security card system, like the same security card system, and you could travel aid down. Now, I've scrapped that idea for two reasons. A, it's not needed, superfluous. I don't think it'll be fun having to travel up and down like that, and I've got ender pearls now anyway, so So a spiral ramp down will happen, but one thing that's happened in the snapshots is that travelators have been fixed. That travelator bug is no longer a bug in patch 1.11, so having a travelator thing up or down is not going to work. It won't work. So that's why I'm going to have a spiral staircase. So a floor here to break up some types of the farms down there, and different farms up here will be nice. Anywho, so we've got I've got a ghetto furnace here just so I could farm. So because I was farming, I was had the rabbits on the go at the same time I was doing this, and I'd stock up, and I'm stocking up at the moment some more chorus fruit for popping. They come down into the chest here, but what I've got here is a lock, and the lock actually prevents anything flowing out of the hopper or into it, locks it completely. So that way I can save up a whole bunch and have more efficient use of my blaze rods, which is kind of silly, but saves me trips, so yeah. Anyway, so that's all I've done this week. One thing I'm going to do now is try and get a button. That button. I've come up with an idea. And I think I'll need a dual edge monostable circuit to make the button on this side of the door work, because I'd still like to be able to close that security door behind me. Just in case there's a troll hanging around Hairsaw and Tao. The pair of them, they are trouble. Anyway, I'm going to get some stuff together and I'm going to make that happen. So, the button is done. It is a thing. I've thinged the dude. So, I tried to use a dual edge monostable circuit. You would have seen that in the video, and it didn't work. Why? Because for this circuit to actually work, I'd have to unpower this briefly, and because of the lock, right, I'll start again. Because of the lock here, there's a constant signal coming from it. So that pretty much stops you from using NOR gates and OR gates and all sorts of logic gates, because this won't work. This circuit here, it's not going to work if it's constantly powered, because that piston's always up, which means that nothing's passing through past this piston over here. So that block will be in whatever state it's left in. And you can do what you want with signals coming into this block. It's not going to stop that repeater from being powered. So I jumped in Test World and I tried to have a bit of a play around, and I worked out that I'd need to stop this signal. And I thought of complicated ways to use dual edge monostable circuits up there and here, and when I finally got the signal through, it didn't want to work. And sometimes the best solution to a complicated problem is the easiest one. So what I had done is grabbed my signal from this button, and it's pretty easy. What you do is you put power through to here, and you power this block, which inverts that signal from on, always on, to off. As soon as this signal comes off, it retracts this piston. I don't have to power this down. I don't have to find a way to muck around with this or interrupt this signal. I just stop it from being able to interact with anything. So it pulls this block back. The best idea yet. The simplest way to do it. I wish I had thought about this earlier. So now I can operate my gate from here. Takes a little bit of time, but I'm okay with that. So I'm going to see if I can't find a way to make it a little bit faster, but I don't reckon it will work that way. I've got a wooden button, so it's a short pulse. Stone button will give you a longer one. And I can operate the gate here too. So that's the important thing, which is really cool. So it's kind of like, in its own fashion, a logic gate, but not, if that makes any sense. Because there's logic gates where you can have multiple sources that need to be powered before something can happen, or yeah. Anyway, I don't quite understand them myself. Anyway, so I've got my button working. So we're going to put this back. And this one. And it is now the perfect crime. So what I was thinking of doing is having some per blocks in here. I'm probably going to remove these out because I don't reckon this will work well with per blocks. And I reckon we're going to put in some half slab per half slabs, and that'll work in nicely because this is all gonna, my floor here, I'm gonna have a floor here, and it's gonna be per. Now what I'm still yet to decide is whether or not I have storage up here or down there, and I'm kind of gonna sit around and wait for patch 1.11 to come out before I make any commitments, because things are changing pretty rapidly with all the snapshots that are coming out. So there was a snapshot that came out this week, and it fixed the bug for the translocator. If you can cast your minds back, that was the one that allowed you to travel up, down, or sideways with the pistons. They've fixed that. So there goes our idea of having a translocator from here down to get into the farm area. And given that you need a security card anyway to get in this part, I reckon having to travel down there for your farms and whatever else is kind of going to be pointless now. And either way, farmed goods, which I'm going to build after patch 1.11 comes out. So this is the really boring part of Minecraft, when you're waiting for a patch to come out and you're in the middle of building things. It's really frustrating. Anyway, so we are going to wait. We will wait before we build anything of importance in here. I will, however, make a chicken farm for raw chicken. I'm going to do that over that way somewhere still. I haven't changed my mind on that one. I'm probably not going to do steak, because I'll just put my resources into chicken instead, because that will just run all on its own and I won't need to do anything. And the same deal here. I'm just going to leave that the way it is now. One thing I did do this week was Tango Tech actually pointed out that he made a mistake on his video, his tutorial video. So I lowered this by a half slab. Purely because the bunnies escape if you don't have that half slab there. So I'll put the half slab in so they can't escape, and that allows them to bounce up and down and all that kind of business, and I can get all my XP still just by staying on this block here, and I can breed them nice and easy if I stand on here, or I can stand here. I generally find myself standing here though. So this works nice and neat now. I'm not going to bother showing you because it's just a farm. So that's really cool. But yeah, I can't decide whether or not I'm going to have my storage system up here or down there. one thing I want to put into consideration is that I'm going to have redstone so I can sort things, but I'm not going to have a tremendous amount of storage purely because of the shulker box. The shulker box will allow me to have, say, this full of shulker boxes and the shulker box is full of stone. So I'd go from needing 8 chests to store my stone to needing just 1 chest with shulker boxes. And the reality is that because the shulker box is actually a game changer, I might not even need to redstone anything. Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. But one thing I will do is make a shulker box sorting system, which will probably happen down there, which makes the most sense. So anything I'm going to use daily, I'll put up here. And I'm feeling like if I have the sorting system into shulker boxes down here, and only transport up a few items that's not worth putting into shulker boxes, can come up here. Otherwise, all my farms can sort of be elevated and dropped down into the sorter, which will occupy this space underneath here. And what I'll likely do is sort of shave the area underneath here down, except for bits like where this farm is. So that's the plan. This will be per blocks. I might even do that in the next day or two. This will all be per blocks on this floor here, or maybe even on that level. That I haven't decided, actually. That's a good question. I can have it here, or I can put it down there. You let me know in the comments section what you would like. We can have the floor on this level, or up there. I'll leave a poll, actually, a vote, in the description thing. Look for it. It'll be there. Please. Please, it'll be nice. You guys can have a vote on that. Anyway, that's all we've got time for now. Thanks for sticking about, and have a good one.